Hello everybody, my name is Mao and today hello everybody, my name is Mao and today I'm going to tell you about the Battle of Dien Bien Phu.
I'm Griffin Johnson, the Armchair Historian. Today's video, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, France's worst defeat in Vietnam. Today's video was made possible by Johnson, the Armchair Historian. Today's video, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, France's Armchair Historian. Hi, I'm Griffin Johnson, the Armchair Historian.
Hi, I'm Griffin Johnson, the Armchair Historian.
Today's video, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, France's worst defeat in Vietnam.
Today's video, the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, France's worst defeat in Vietnam.
Today's video was made possible by Bespoke.
I think our show skip the sponsor.
Act with more than
Regarde, il y a du nouvel équipement.
Somewhere Dien Bien Phu.
Regarde, il y a du
Look, new supplies.
nouvel équipement. C'est quoi ce bordel?
What the hell is this? Really? Is this from the sponsor? I think so. Oh, that's why our friends get during that. What the hell is this? Yes.
The French Indochina War
The French Indochina War
was a flashpoint of the Cold War,
was a flashpoint of the Cold War,
pitting the resurgent French against the Viet Minh.
pinning the resurgent French against the Viet Minh independence movement.
Independence fighters,
Or
with the Viet
independence
Minh
fight.
closing in on final.
With the Viet Minh closing in on the final
victory.
victory.
In late 1953,
Late 1953. Wait, I'm gonna let this stay for a little bit. Maybe half. That's better.
the French established
In the late 1953, the French established a colony,
a base at Dien
Dien Bien Phu,
Bien Phu in a last-ditch attempt to lure the Viet Minh into a climactic battle.
in addition to in a last-ditch attempt to lure the Viet Minh into a climatic battle.
Yet their strategy backfired, and the Vietnamese general Vo Nguyen Giap, known
And the Vietnamese general Vo Nguyen Giap,
as the Red Napoleon,
known as the Red Napoleon,
inflicted a crushing defeat on the French.
inflicted a crushing defeat on the French.
The Battle of Dien Bien Phu shifted the balance of power in Indochina
The Battle of Dien Bien Phu shifted the balance of power in Indochina
and laid the groundwork for America's full-scale entry into the Vietnam
and laid the groundwork for America's full-scale entry into the Vietnam War.
War 10 years later.
10 years later.
Here to give you some speedy
Or a decade later.
context to French colonialism.
Here to give you some speedy context to French colonialism
In Southeast Asia
in Southeast Asia
is friend of the channel Blue from
is friend of the channel Blue
sarcastic
sarcastic production.
Hi, Griffin. French
Hi, Griffin.
colonialism in Indochina dates back to 1858,
French colonialism in Indochina dates back to 1858,
during the reign of Emperor Napoleon III.
during the reign of Emperor Napoleon III.
And colonial Indochina grew to encompass modern Vietnam,
And Indochina grew to encompass modern Vietnam.
and Cambodia by
Encompass modern Vietnam and Cambodia
1887.
in 1887.
French colonists used Indochina as an export base for
French colonists used Indochina as an export base
tea, rice, and even rubber,
for tea, rice, and even rubber,
and forced much of the local population into
and forced much of the local population
poverty and crushing work to meet that demand.
into poverty and crushing war to meet that demand.
Clamor for self-rule really
Clamor for self-rule really started
to gain momentum in 1930
to gain momentum in 1930
with the foundation of the Indochinese Communist Party by Ho Chi Minh.
The foundation of the Indo-Chinese Communist Party by Ho Chi Minh. Yeah, everyone know that guy in Vietnam.
A decade later, forces under Imperial Japan invaded all of Indochina and
Later, forces under Imperial Japan or the Japanese Empire invaded all Indochina
occupied it throughout the Second World War.
and occupied it throughout the Second World War.
In response to these foreign occupiers, Ho
In response to this foreign occupiers,
Chi Minh founded the Viet Minh,
Ho Chi Minh founded the Viet Minh,
an independence movement whose forces
an independence movement whose forces
successfully harassed the Japanese with
harassed the Japanese
guerrilla action.
with guerrilla action.
After Japan's surrender
After Japan's surrender
and withdrawal, Ho Chi Minh declared
and withdrawal, Ho Chi Minh declared
independence from France and
independence from France
formed the Democratic Republic of Vietnam
and for the Democratic Republic of Vietnam
on September 2nd,
on September 2nd, 1945.
1945. Thanks so much for letting me stop by.
Thanks. Ho Chi Minh was a great admirer of the U.S. and he echoed the words of the Declaration of Independence in his speech. Thanks so much for letting me stop by.
Thanks, Blue. Be
Thanks, Will.
sure to check out his video on the history of the French Empire
Be sure to check out his video on the history of the French Empire
after this video.
after this video.
Despite Ho Chi Minh's proclamation of independence,
Despite Ho Chi Minh's proclamation of independence,
French troops returned to Cochin China
French troops returned to Cochin China
the next month
and the next month.
to decide the future of
To decide the future of Indochina,
Indochina. French and Vietnamese delegations convened in
French and Vietnamese delegations convened in 14 Blue
Fontainebleau a year later, but
a year later.
negotiations reached a stalemate.
But negotiations reached a stalemate.
November 23rd, 1946.
November 23rd, 1946.
The situation escalated when a Haiphong incident
The situation escalated when the Haiphong incident
took place, in which
took place,
a French cruiser
in which a French cruiser bombarded
the city of Haiphong,
the city of Haiphong,
killing approximately 6,000 civilians.
killing approximately 6,000 civilians. Wow, that's a lot.
This clash paved the way for the Battle of Hanoi,
This paved the way for the Battle of Hanoi,
which marked the beginning of the 8-year-long First Indochina
which marked the beginning of the 8-year-long First Indochina War.
War. By late 1953, the situation for the French was becoming increasingly dire.
In late 1953, the situation for the French was becoming increasingly dire. Well, yeah, go and get it, Vietnam.
The Viet Minh had seized most of the countryside,
The Viet Minh has seized most of the countryside,
as well as the northern part of Vietnam,
as well as the northern part of Vietnam,
and were poised to threaten Laos
and were poised to threaten Laos
next.
next.
To regain the initiative,
To regain the initiative,
General Henri Navarre,
General N.V. Navarre,
the supreme commander of French forces
the supreme commander of French forces
in Indochina,
in Indochina,
decided to construct a fortress at Dien Bien Phu.
decided to construct a fortress in Dien Bien Phu.
A remote village in northwest Vietnam,
A remote village in northwest Vietnam
with a strategic airfield from which the French could
with a strategic airfield from which the French
lure the Viet Minh into
could lure the Viet Minh
a decisive battle
into a decisive battle
and annihilate them using superior air power
and annihilate them using superior air power
and artillery.
and artillery.
However, the more aggressive General
General Coney,
head of the Northern Theater, was
head of the Northern Theater,
skeptical of the idea.
was skeptical of the idea.
since he wanted to use Dien Bien Phu